finally for x3, with the same logic, it will be b3 minus a31 x1 minus a32 x2 divided by a33, right? और इसी चीज को if you want to write this thing in general, तो इसका जनरल फॉर्म लिखना हो तो कैसे लिखेंगे? यू कैन राइट एक्स आई, आई is your variable, I can be 1, I can be 2, I can be 3. So xi is equal to, it is bi minus summation j equal to 1 to n, where j is not equal to I, then a I j, and then you need to take xj, and this thing is divided by aii. So the same thing you can also write in general form. Why I am writing this general form here? Because if you are planning to make computer program for Gauss-Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel, then these general forms will help you in your programming, that whether you need to use for loop or while loop. If you know the general form, it is better to create the logic with the help of general form. वो ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आता है कि क्या करना है इसमें. That's why the general form is there. So now this part we also did for Gauss-Jacobi, right? Now what was the next step? Gauss-Jacobi में इसके बाद हमने क्या किया था? Can anyone answer for this question? What we did in Gauss-Jacobi after this step? After creating the formula for x1, x2, and x3, what we did next? Anyone? After this, we have converted these formulas into iterative form. Iterative form means, here let's keep I plus 1. This value in the bracket represents the current status or current value. This is the value of I plus 1th iteration. And to calculate these values, you are using here the value from previous iteration. That means if this is your I plus 1th value, these two values should be from ith iteration. You can also write it like this. अगर यहाँ पर I लिखा है तो यहाँ पर I minus 1 लिख सकते हो. Both the things are correct. Then I and I. That means if I want to calculate x1, x2, x3 for my first iteration, I need to take I equal to 0 here. So उससे क्या बनेगा? It will give me x1 value of first iteration, x2 the value in first iteration, then x3 the value in first iteration, and it is given by this b1 minus a12 x2 of 0 minus a13 x3 for 0, then b2 b3 a21 x1 minus a23 x3, then a31 x1 and a32 x2. Now in order to start your iteration, you should have these values: x1 0, x2 0 and x3 0. These three values are called initial values. Right? If you want to start your iterations, you should have initial values with you. Using this initial value, you will get your first value from your first iteration: x1 1, x2 1 and x3 1. Now with the help of first value, you will get your second one. With the help of second, you will get third value. With the help of third, you will get fourth, and this process will go on. But in order to start, you should have these values available with you: x1 0, x2 0 and x3 0. And in Gauss elimination, not Gauss elimination, Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, these initial values are always 0. You start with x1 0 equal to 0, x2 0 equal to 0 and x3 0 is equal to 0. Right? This way you need to start your process. Your initial values of your variables are always 0. So that was your third step in Gauss-Jacobi. Now, how Gauss-Seidel is different than Gauss-Jacobi? See, the next process of step number 3 is again same for Gauss-Seidel. You need to do it like this: x1. If I take I equal to 0, for the first iteration, it will be x11 is equal to then x21 and x31. Now, what is different here in Gauss-Seidel method? If you observe your first formula, it is x1 I plus 1 is equal to b1 minus a12 x2I and a13 x3I. At x2 and x3, these values are from the ith iteration, and this x1 value is from I plus 1th iteration or I plus 1th value. Now, when you are going to second formula after completion of first one, now you are using value of x1 here, and this value is from the ith iteration. That means this is older value, while we already have new value of x1 available with us from the first equation, right? So this is difference in Gauss-Seidel method. In Gauss-Jacobi, for all three formulas we were using older value. तीनों में हम लोग पुरानी value को use कर रहे थे, right? But in Gauss-Seidel, the newer value which is available from previous formula, that value we will directly use. यहाँ पर क्या होगा? x1 I plus 1 is already available with us because we have calculated our first formula. So instead of using the older value, we will replace this one with newer one. Right? x1 का value कौन सा use करेंगे? नया value. So we will use I plus 1 here because this value is already available with us now. Now, when you will go to third equation, this x1 I plus 1 and x2 I plus 1, both values are available with us. So here in the right hand side, instead of using x1 I and x2 I, we will use x1 I plus 1 and x2 I plus 1. Right? Now, this is the difference between Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. Right? In Gauss-Jacobi, we are using previous values or older values for every formula, while in Gauss-Seidel, we are using the updated value in the next formula. If you get the new value of x1, it is directly used in the second formula. If you get new values of x1 and x2, they are directly used in the third formula, right? Like this. So in every iteration, your x2 and x3, they are getting updated values or new values, and because of that, your convergence rate becomes fast. Right? Gauss-Jacobi के मुकाबले ये मेथड जो है ये आपको ज्यादा क्विकली solution calculate करके देगा, right? The speed of converging to solution will be more fast compared to Gauss-Jacobi. So this is the only difference in Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. In Gauss-Jacobi, we are using older values for all the formula, while in Gauss-Seidel, we are using the updated values directly in the next formula. And because of this, your convergence speed will be increased. Now, with the help of this, let's try to solve an example. Let's try to use the same example which we tried in previous session for Gauss-Jacobi, and let's see what difference we have. Solve following system of linear equations by Gauss-Seidel method. And let's use the same example which we used in previous session, that example of two equations and two variables. That question was
2x plus 5.
2x plus 5y is equal to 16. यही था ना equation. Then 3x plus y is equal to 11. Right? So we tried for this equation, and as far as I remember, we performed, I think, 6 to 7 iteration, and after 6 to 7 iteration, there wasn't much decimal accuracy achieved. Right? तो यहाँ पर भी उतनी iteration perform करके देखेंगे. Let's see how this method performs for the same system. So first of all, we need to check whether this system is diagonally dominant or not. Is it diagonally dominant? Do you think this system is diagonally dominant?
No, sir.
No, it is not. So we need to rewrite or rearrange our system. So after rewriting, your new system will be this. Let's make second equation as first and first as second. So 2x plus 5y is equal to 16. Right now, this one is diagonally dominant. So after the condition, now let's make our formulas. First we need to make formula for x with the help of first equation. So as you can see from the first equation, your x formula will be this. X is equal to 11 minus y divided by the diagonal entry, which is 3. This is our first equation or first formula. Similarly for y, it is 16 minus 2x divided by 5. This is our second formula. And what is difference in Gauss-Seidel and Gauss-Jacobi? Here it will be I plus 1th value and here it will be ith value. But when you go to your second equation, at x I plus 1 is already available with us. So this new and updated value we will use here directly. So here there will be I plus 1 and here y I plus 1. Now let's see what values we can get from this method. So again, I request all of you to keep a scientific calculator with you because we need to do some calculation. So you need to help me in that. So let's create a table. Let me write here iteration number I. Then I'll write the value of x here. Then value of y. So let's start with iteration number 1. So when I start my first iteration, it will look like this. In iteration number 1, I need to take I equal to 0 when I'm taking iteration 1. So if I take I equal to 0 in these two formula, it will give me this. X1 is equal to 11 minus y0 divided by 3. And similarly, y1 will be this. Y1 is equal to 16 minus 2 times. Now here x value will be the updated one. X1 divided by 5. Now what I need to choose for x0 and y0? X0 and y0 are initial value and they are always 0. So my x1 will be this. X1 is equal to, it is 11 minus 0 divided by 3. And my y1 will be 16 minus 2 times. Now can anyone tell me what is 11 by 3? Please reply me in the chat box. What is 11 by 3? Use your scientific calculator. What is 11 by 3? Please use your calculator and tell me. I'm waiting for your answer.
Sir,
Okay, 3.667.
8 times 6.
हाँ, बट हम सिर्फ 4 या 5 बार यूज करेंगे. अभी सिर्फ 5 डिजिट तक रखते हैं.
Yes, sir.
So this is our x1 value. Now this updated x1 value we are directly going to use here. So it will be 2 into 3.6667 and then divided by 5. Now again with the help of calculator, please tell me what is 16 minus 2 into the x value divided by 5.
2.8.
2.8. ओके, बाकी सबको भी 2.8 ही मिल रहा है. So it is 3.6667 and this value is 2.8. Then now second iteration. Now in second iteration we are going to use this y value for calculating x and that new x value will be used for calculation of y. So now you know the process. I have explained you iteration 1. Right? Now with the same process, take iteration 2 and tell me what is x and y value. X और y value calculate करके बताओ मुझे. It should be like this.
Sir, x की value 2.7 फिर 3 बार.
x की वैल्यू कितनी मिली? 2 पॉइंट,
2.7 फिर 3 बार.
that means 3333.
Yes sir.
Okay, and let's see what values of y we have. Now that new value you have to use for your formula, right? ये जो 2.733 value जो मिल रहा है, that value you are going to use in calculation of y. ये updated value जाएगा सीधा second variable के लिए.
Sir, y 1.7 4 times 3 and 2
1.74 times 3.
and 2.
Okay, so that's the value for second iteration. Let's see third one. So now you know the process, right? So use your calculator, calculate x and y value and post them in the chat box. मैं उसको यहाँ पर व्हाइट बोर्ड पे नोट करके लिख लूंगा. जो भी आंसर आपको मिल रहा है, प्लीज पोस्ट इट इन द चैट बॉक्स एंड ट्राई टू कीप 5 to 6 digits. Yes, we got the x and y value from Raj. Raj says x value is 3.08889 and then y value is 2.10666. Yes, so we got the value of third iteration. Let's see what is value in fourth, fifth and sixth. 6 और 7 तक करेंगे हम लोग मैक्स, तब तक पता चल जाएगा कि कौन सी वैल्यू को कन्वर्ट कर रहा है ये. Okay, we got the value from Raj and Nidhi. They got 2.96444 and the y value is 1.9644. Yes, next Nidhi is getting the value. निधि, ये y का वैल्यू काफी बड़ा जा रहा है 2.41. तुमने अपडेटेड वैल्यू यूज किया था ना x का फॉर द सेकंड फार्मूला? ओके, yes, Darshan got the next value 2.8619. Yeah, let's perform one more iteration and then we'll stop.
हेलो सर।
Yes.
सर एक छोटा सा, सर x2 में i की वैल्यू 2 के लिए एक बार x और y एक बार वापस से एक बार बताओ ना।
Just a minute. हाँ,
यस
किसके
सर।
लिए?
i
सेकंड
की
इटरेशन
वैल्यू
में
2
ना?
के लिए।
i
यस
की
सर।
वैल्यू 2 के
तो
लिए?
y की वैल्यू क्या डालेंगे सर?
Okay, let
x
me
के लिए।
explain this thing to you. See, for iteration 1 we will choose I equal to 0. iteration 1 में I equal to 0 लेना है. Then for iteration 2 we need to take I equal to 1, and for iteration 3 we need to take I equal to 2. So अगर मैं iteration 3 कर रहा हूँ, then what I need to take? I need to take x. If my I is 2, then here 2 plus 1 will be there, is equal to, it is 11 minus yi, that means 2 here, divided by 3, and y 2 plus 1 is equal to, it is 16 minus 2 times x into, now here I need to use the updated value 2 plus 1, then divided by 5. तो ये एक्चुअली क्या हो जाएगा? x3 is equal to 11 minus y2. यहाँ y की तो ओल्डर वैल्यू यूज होगी, बट क्योंकि x3 ऑलरेडी हमको मिल गया है पहले इक्वेशन से, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे? y3 के लिए वी विल टेक 16 माइनस 2 टाइम्स जो भी वैल्यू यहाँ पर मिला है ना x3, वो डायरेक्टली हम लोग यहाँ पर यूज कर लेंगे.
सर एक थोड़ा सर लोचा हो गया फिर।
क्या हो गया फिर?
मैंने ऊपर वाला ही x यूज कर लिया था।
अच्छा, तो तुमने मुझे कितने वैल्यू
एक
इसमें
बार
लिखवाए हैं इस टेबल में?
सर सिर्फ फर्स्ट लिखवाई, फिर सेकंड से मैं थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया था तो मैं रुक गया।
क्योंकि मुझे भी ये वैल्यू
सर
थोड़े डाउटफुल लग रहे थे,
सर तो
इसलिए
सभी
तो मैंने
वैल्यू
मुझे
गलत
को
होंगे
पूछ
ना?
लिया था.
हाँ सर सर, सॉरी सर। सर
Okay,
मैंने
no
पाइथन
problem.
प्रोग्रामिंग बनाया हुआ है, सिर्फ वैल्यू इनपुट करनी है और आउटपुट देता जाएगा।
हाँ, प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं, मैं दिखाऊं आप लोगों को प्रोग्राम, इसका सी प्रोग्राम।
हाँ सर, वापस एक बार करना हो तो अभी ऐसे कैलकुलेट नहीं करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, एक्चुअली ये इटरेशन मेथड डिजाइन ही इसलिए किए गए हैं कि इसको प्रोग्रामिंग में कन्वर्ट किया जा सके। सो अच्छा हुआ आप लोगों ने मुझे पूछा। लेट मी शो यू दी गॉस सीडल प्रोग्राम, जो अभी मैंने बनाया था, आप लोगों को दिखाने के लिए ही बनाया था एक्चुअली। ये मैं आपको ये दिखाने भी वाला था, बट अभी क्योंकि ये इसमें थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन प्रॉब्लम हो गया है, तो ये मैं आपको कोड से करके दिखाता हूँ।
यस सर।
अभी दोबारा इसके ऊपर टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते हैं, लेट्स नॉट वेस्ट टाइम फॉर दिस। लेट मी show you the code for Gauss Seidel. But before I show you the code, first tell me, is the logic of method clear to everyone? How the method works? Calculation में गलती हुई, ठीक है, चलो लॉजिक समझ में आया सबको कि नहीं? Please give me reply in the chat box. Is the logic clear to everyone? How Gauss Seidel,
Yes.
Gauss Jacobi works? Okay, then let's move to the C program of this. Yes, this is the C program for Gauss Seidel. Similarly, Gauss Jacobi का भी है. Let me show you that thing also. Yes, so I have both the codes here side by side, Gauss Jacobi and Gauss Seidel. Now let's see what are the lines we have taken here in the code. First, packages are included, then we have defined the variables. Just like Gauss elimination, will take some values from user, right? Some value means we'll take the order of matrix from user, and the coefficient matrix and the right hand side that constants. These values we will take from user, and since we are taking data in more matrix, that's why we have defined arrays like this. The size of x is n by n plus 1. At n by n plus 1, that means n rows and n plus 1 columns. So if you have 3 equations, 3 variable, then x will be of order 3 by 4. तो चौथा कॉलम जो है वो कांस्टेंट का रहेगा, वो हम लोग साथ में यूजर से ले लेंगे. Then an, bn and bn, they are for your variables and constants. Then with the help of for loop, we are taking those values from user, and also we are taking two values here from user, that is maximum number of iteration and the allowed error. Allowed error means it will take the difference of current value and previous value. If the difference is less than 0.001, that means 2 decimal accuracy is achieved. If the difference is less than 0.0001, that means 3 decimal accuracy is achieved. तो वो एक चीज हम लोग यूजर से ले लेंगे. Also we will take maximum number of iteration. मान लो कि हमारा एक्यूरेसी जो है वो अचीव ही नहीं हो रहा आफ्टर सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ इटरेशन, तो हम वहां पर एक अपर कैप भी रखेंगे कि भाई आफ्टर 20 इटरेशन खत्म कर दो, आफ्टर 50 इटरेशन खत्म कर दो. सो विल कीप बोथ दी थिंग्स हियर, मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ इटरेशन as well as the allowed error. And here the calculation process is going on with the help of 3 for loops. Right? As you can see here, t is equal to, ये हम लोगों ने सबसे पहले ये जो फोर लूप है इससे हमारा वो सम कैलकुलेट होगा, फिर उस सम को हम लोग माइनस करेंगे फ्रॉम द वैल्यू ऑफ bi, एंड देन विल डिवाइड विथ xii. दिस इज आवर xii diagonal value, right? This s is your sum, right? And this xi plus 1 is your right hand side constant, b1 b2 b3 जो भी है, that value will be here in xi n plus 1. And finally, after calculating t, we'll update that value here in bi, so we can print it. उसको print करने के लिए. And then next iteration will be performed because of the for loop. And finally, we are printing everything here in form of table. Let's see what happens if we run this code. This is actually for Gauss Jacobi. इसके बाद Seidel को भी रन करके देखेंगे दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस रहता है. So it is asking for the order of matrix. So now you tell me कौन सा मैट्रिक्स देना है. ये 2x2 वाला अभी जो किया वो देना है कि कोई 3x3 वाला नया ट्राई करना है? Tell me.
सर 2x2 वाला.
चलो यही 2x2 वाला ट्राई करते हैं. Okay. And one more thing, in our computer program, we haven't mentioned anything for diagonal dominance. वो उसके लिए हमने कोई लॉजिक नहीं रखा है इसमें. That means whatever system we are going to enter, it has to be diagonal dominant. तो हमको diagonal dominant करके ही उसमें enter करना है. ठीक है. So let's enter a 2x2 system which is already in diagonally dominant form. Yes. Can anyone tell me what was my first coefficient?
So 2.
नहीं वो हाँ सॉरी 2 था इसमें. x11 is 2. What is my second coefficient? 5. नहीं 2 नहीं था ना, हमने इसको डायगोनल डोमिनेंट बनाना बाकी था ना उसमें. इसको डायगोनल डोमिनेंट करना पड़ेगा पहले.
3 1 and 2 5.
या सो सबसे पहले 3 then 1 and now it is asking for x13. x13 is our right hand side constant, so that thing we need to enter here. 11. Then x21 x21 is 2, then 5, and right hand side constant is 16. Now it is asking how much error we want to allow. So let's give 2 decimal accuracy. So let's give 0.001. And now it is asking maximum number of iteration. So maximum number of iteration, let's keep 50. मैक्सिमम वो 50 तक जाएगा, उसके बाद आगे नहीं जाएगा. या तो एक्यूरेसी अचीव हो जाता है तो वो स्टॉप करेगा, या तो मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ इटरेशन हो जाते हैं तो वो स्टॉप कर देगा. एंड once we press enter, now these are the values of x and y. So it is getting the accuracy nearly about 10th iteration. 2 decimal accuracy is achieved. So as you can see, your x value is converging to 2.999, that means 3, and your y value is converging to 1.99, that means 2. So the solution of this system is x equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. And also the variables which we have used here, they are of the type float. That's why there are only 4 digits available with us. You can also make it double or anything like that. So more values will be considered and your final answers will have more digits. So your accuracy will be more compared to float variables. You can use double here. Okay, this is the solution from Gauss-Jacobi. Now let's try to compile and run Gauss-Seidel. This is your Gauss-Seidel program, and it has just a minor change. It is using the updated value every time. Now let's try to compile this. Let's use the same system, 2x2 system. x11 is 3, then 1, then 11. Second equation is 2, 5, and 16. Allowed error, let's give 0.001, and maximum number of iteration 50. Yes, you see the difference. Because of Gauss-Seidel, your final answer is coming in only 5 iterations. वहां पर कितने iteration लगे थे? 10 iterations to get the same value. But here in Gauss-Seidel, only in 5 iteration the same answer is achieved. 3.002 and 1.999, x equal to 3 and y equal to 2. So this is difference in Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. Gauss-Seidel is comparatively faster than Gauss-Jacobi. And why it is faster? Because in every iteration it is using the updated value. Right? अगर x का value achieve हो चुका है तो वही x का updated value y के लिए use हो जाएगा. And that x and y value will be used for calculation of z. Right? So this way, because of use of updated value, right, the convergence rate is faster than Gauss-Jacobi. Right? So this is the solution for 2x2 system. Let's try to do it for any 3x3 system. चलो आप में से कोई मुझे कोई 3x3 सिस्टम देना चाहेगा? मैंने आप लोगों को एक मैजिक ट्रिक सिखाया था कि सिस्टम कैसे बनाते हैं, आपको जो सॉल्यूशन चाहिए उसके लिए. सो यूजिंग दैट ट्रिक कोई मुझे एक सिस्टम बना के देगा. बट मेक श्योर योर सिस्टम इज डायगोनली डोमिनेंट. आप मुझे कोई सिस्टम बना के दो जिसका सॉल्यूशन आपको पहले से पता, आप कोई भी इमेजिन करके सॉल्यूशन सिस्टम बना लो. चलो वो इसमें एंटर करके देखते हैं कि ये काम करता है कि नहीं. या फिर एक काम करते हैं, कोई एक स्टूडेंट बनाए उससे अच्छा है हम सब लोग मिलके बना लेते हैं. लेट्स ट्राई टू क्रिएट अ सिस्टम ऑफ लीनियर इक्वेशन फॉर 3 इक्वेशंस एंड 3 अननोन्स. लेट्स से अगर मुझे सॉल्यूशन चाहिए x equal to 1, y equal to 2 and z equal to 3, right? This solution I need. Now for this solution I will create my system. Now give me any number. सबसे पहला नंबर कौन देगा? दर्शन, give me any number of your choice.
Sir, 3.
So 3x. Now since we have used 3 here, next two coefficient try to keep in such way that the total should be greater than or equal to 3. हमको diagonal dominant रखना है ना उसको. So next coefficient आप में से कोई और बताओ, दर्शन के अलावा और कोई और? जो भी कोई वैल्यू एक बार दे देगा वो रिपीट नहीं करेगा. निधि सेज 1. +1 और -1? Okay, so +1, that means I need to take +y. Now give me one more number. Now that
Minus
number, minus
-2z.
-2 लेंगे तो इक्वल टू हो जाएगा. इक्वल टू इज फाइन, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. So -2z. So now this is equal to, now what should be our right hand side constant? If I take x equal to 1 here, then that will be 3. If I take y equal to 2, then it will be +2. And if I take z equal to 3, then this will be 3 into 2 -6. So it is 5 minus 6. It is -1. So I need to take -1 here. This should be my right hand side constant. Now for the second equation, give me any number. जिन लोगों ने एक बार बता दिया वो रिपीट नहीं करेंगे. Let's try to take from different people. Right, give me any number of your choice. Okay, Smriti says 4. So let's take 4x. Now this is your diagonal value. So give me a larger number for this. वो बाकी दोनों के टोटल से बड़ा होना चाहिए. So give me a larger number for this one. Anyone? Okay, Bharti says 8. So let's take 8y. Now this third number, try to keep less than 4 so that your total is less than 8. 4 से छोटा कोई भी नंबर बताओ, plus minus anything. 1. So let's take minus और plus. कुणाल क्या लेना है?
प्लस.
Okay, let's take plus z. Right? So अब ये 8 जो है ये total 4 + 1 5 से बड़ा है. That means it is diagonal dominant. Now for x equal to 1, this should be 4. For y equal to 2, 8 2s are 16. And for z equal to 3, it is only 3. So 16 plus 4, 20, 20 plus 3. So my right hand side constant should be 23. I hope I'm doing the calculations correctly. If there is any problem, you can tell me. And now give me next number for third equation. जिसने पहले कोई नंबर ना बोला हो ऐसा कोई स्टूडेंट? Anyone? Okay, Jaydeep says it is 6. So 6x. Then next number. Come on, number ही तो देना है जल्दी जल्दी quickly. Okay, Darshan says 1. +1 or -1, Darshan? Okay, let's say +y. Now your third number should be greater than
8.
or equal to 7. So let's take 8. Plus or minus?
+8.
Okay, plus 8z. Right? So now it is diagonally dominant system. For x equal to 1, this will be 6. For y equal to 2, this will be 2. And this will be 8 into 3. So that is 24. So 24 plus 6 will be 30. 30 plus 2 will be 32. Right? So this is our system. Now we have created this system in such a way that it is diagonal dominant. Plus we know the solution in advance. इसका solution क्या होना चाहिए? X equal to 1, y equal to 2 and z equal to 3. Now let's try to give this system as input in our Gauss-Seidel program. अब ये system कोई note कर लो, screenshot ले लो. आप में से किसी को मुझे बताना है जब हम वैल्यू एंटर करेंगे वहां पर C प्रोग्राम में. Take a screenshot of this quickly. Give me a message in the chat box when the screenshot is done. Is it done? The screenshot? Okay, Darshan says done. Okay, so Darshan, you give me the values now. Let's compile this code for Gauss-Seidel. Now first it is asking me the order of matrix. So let's give 3. Then now I need to enter the values.
3x.
Okay, first coefficient is 3. So I need to enter 3. What is coefficient of y?
1.
माइनस साइन भी बोलना, जो भी हो, प्लस माइनस जो भी हो
+1
बताना. ओके, +1. नाउ कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ z
-2
-2, and now I need to enter the right hand side constant
-1
-1. So now first equation is done. So x21, second equation now.
4 +4
+4
+8
+8
1 +1
+1, and right hand side constant is what?
23
23. Now the third equation.
6 +6
+6
+1
+1
+8
+8, and right hand side constant is what?
32
32. Right. Now it is asking for allowed error, so let's give 0.001 to decimal accuracy, and maximum number of iteration, let's give 50. As you can see, now this time we have 3 columns, and the 2 decimal accuracy is almost achieved after 6th iteration. So as you can see, x is converging to 0.999, that means it is 1. Y is converging to 2.000, that means 2, and z is converging to 3.00, that means 3. So gradually your solution is converging to x equal to 1, y equal to 2, and z equal to 3. और कितने iteration में पता चल गया हमको? After 6th iteration. And this system was created by us. It was diagonally dominant, and we knew the solution in advance, and we can verify that thing here, that the solution is correct. It is 1, 2, and 3. So this way you can implement Gauss-Seidel and Gauss-Jacobi method when you want to find approximate solution. Well, ये हमने जो actually system दिया, it was having exact solution 1, 2, and 3. But in real life problem, when you are solving real problems, it's not always possible that your system has exact solution. So in that case, we need to look for approximate solution. So in that case, these methods will be very handy, Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, when exact solutions are not available. And if your system is diagonal dominant, you can look for these 2 methods. This will work perfectly fine for you. It will give you approximate solution. और कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि exact solution नहीं मिल पाता, तो प्रॉब्लम ऐसा होता है कि अगर approximate भी मिल जाता है तो उससे हमारा काम हो जाता है. Right? अगर 2 डेसिमल 3 डेसिमल तक भी अगर वो accurate है, that's good enough for us. 3 decimal accuracy is good enough. Right? 3.001 अगर होता है तो 3.001 and 3, they are almost same. Right? So it's not that approximate solutions are bad. वो भी काफी अच्छे होते हैं, उससे भी काफी काम हो जाता है हमारा. Right? So this is something about Gauss-Seidel and Gauss-Jacobi. So after completion of one example of both the method, and after observing this C program, is the logic clear to everyone for both the methods, Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel? How to implement the method, is that part clear to everyone? Okay. Right. Don't worry about the lecture notes. I'll give you PPT for this, for Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. उसमें कुछ extra examples भी रहेंगे, right, that you can observe and that you can do it for practice. So maybe next session, अगर आप लोगों को लगता है कि थोड़े और example 1-2 करने हैं practice के लिए for Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, so that will do it, and then we'll go to next topic. And if you are clear with the method, then we can skip that part and we can directly go to next topic. So in next session, I'll also provide you the PPT of Gauss-Seidel and Gauss-Jacobi. I'll also provide you the PPT of elimination and Jordan also. I think वो भी share करना बाकी है, so वो भी मैं share कर दूंगा साथ में. Right, so I think the time is running out. Let's quickly take attendance now. Right, so just like previous session, you need to give me attendance in sequence. I'll call the range 1 to 10, 10 to 20. And if your number is falling in that range, then you need to reply in the chat box. Right? So first, from enrollment number 1 to 10, please leave a message in the chat box. Enrollment number 1 to 10. Please quickly leave a message in the chat box 1 to 10. Okay, now enrollment number 11 to 20. Please leave a message in the chat box. If your message is done, then you are free to go. You can leave the meeting. No need to wait. Enrollment number 11 to 20. Please leave a message. Okay, next 21 to 30. Please leave a message in the chat box. 21 to 30. Next 31 to 40. Please leave a message in the chat box. 31 to 40. Next 41 to 50. Please leave a message in the chat box. 41 to 50. Next 51 to 60. 51 to 60. Please leave a message in the chat box. Okay, next 61 to 70. Please leave a message in the chat box. 61 to 70. Then next 71 to 80, leave a message. 71 to 80, please leave a message in chat box. And last, now all the D2D student, please leave a message in the chat box with your number. D2D students, please leave a message. Yes, once your message is done, you can leave the meeting. This session is over. You can leave the meeting and attend your next session if there is any. Okay, Divyajit, no problem. Okay, now is there anyone whose message is still not done? Okay, so with this, let's finish here. Let's stop recording.